I'm Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. I'm joined today by Rebecca Smith, Kristan Cloney, and Dave Fraser of the St. Stephen business community to talk about one of my favorite topics, Christmas in St. Stephen. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm sure a lot of people, you are familiar faces, but I'd love to start off by just telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do in the community. Rebecca, we'll start with you.
Sure. My name's Rebecca Smith, and I am first vice president of the Chamber, and I'm also co-owner for the Southern Ice Dogs Hockey Organization, and I also work at CBDC.
Nice. And Kristan?
My name is Kristan Cloney. Heavily involved in the community Christmas events through various roles I play. So I'm a retailer, so co-owner of Spree Life and Style. Also a member of the Chamber, but am the first vice president of the BIA, also known as Downtown St. Stephen.
Nice. And Dave?
And Dave Fraser, I'm the associate dealer / owner of the local Canadian Tire store. We've been here for a little over 2 years. We've been involved in the community in a lot of different aspects, mainly Jumpstart, which is getting kids helped in sports. We've also been behind the Canada's Oldest Basketball Initiative, and we've been given the opportunity to become title sponsor of the 2022 Christmas in St. Stephen event, which is a great honor for us. So thank you.
Nice. So I should mention everyone at home, we're taping this November 15th, but really the Christmas events kick off this week. So we'll start with talking about a St. Stephen dollar blowout that will be Friday, November 18th. Can you tell us a little bit, Kristan, about what is involved in that?
Absolutely. Our Moonlight Madness event happens on that day, and it's really kicked off first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock at the BIA office, or Downtown St. Stephen office, which is right on the main street, where we have a huge blowout of downtown dollars, which are basically dollars or gift certificates that you can use at any participating business in the downtown area. And this year we're selling 5,000 of those dollars at 10% off, so it's a great opportunity to save.
Okay, and this is stuff you would sell all year too, so these are the kind of things that would make, I'm sure, a great stocking stuffer.
Absolutely, so there's no expiry date. You can use them whenever. You can choose where to use them as well, so it's a perfect time to snag some at a discount and then be able to use them later, even in that evening for the events that are taking place.
Cool, and that's something that a lot of the local stores would just accept as regular
Absolutely,
dollars.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell me a little bit more. I know that Black Friday comes the next week, but so Moonlight Madness is different from this.
Absolutely. So Moonlight Madness is an event that takes place all through St. Stephen, all through the community with all of our different participating businesses. And it's an opportunity for special deals. Obviously hours were open until 11 o'clock, so different businesses have signed up and they'll be open until 11 o'clock at night with tons of specials, fun events, giveaways, that type of thing.
Now, Black Friday, I think being a border town definitely makes St. Stephen special in the Black Friday regard. I know other Canadian towns have tried to catch on, but when you're a border town, it is a little different because you can hop over and really do both towns at the same time. So how does St. Stephen celebrate Black Friday?
I can chime in a little bit from the Canadian Tire standpoint.
Sure.
So Black Friday has certainly started in the U.S. and Canada has resonated with it in the last 10 years. And so I would say that being a border town is unique because you get the benefits of being on both sides of the river and being able to leverage both of that from a Canadian perspective and certainly St. Stephen perspective and our store. Canadian Tire got ahead of this about 10 years ago when they branded it Red Thursday, and then followed up with a Black Friday sale, and then it was called the Red Weekend. But that really coincides with the selling season in the United States and their Thanksgiving. And I think Canada's traction on that has really picked up and gained a lot of inertia over the last 10 years.
I know. I feel like I am one of those people that always has my passport in my purse because you never know, and a reason to shop in a different country could come up. It comes up a lot here when you're in St. Stephen. But on the topic of passports, we have a different kind of passport this holiday season in St. Stephen. It's a shopping passport that I think I have a copy of right here. So can you tell me a little bit about how this works and how you gain points from this?
Sure. So the passport, which is available in the courier, it also went home to the elementary school students. And it is also available on our Facebook page. So there is participating stores that are taking taking initiative to this, and it starts on Friday, November 18th, and it ends Friday, November the 25th. So what you do is you go to the participating businesses, and they will initial 5 spots, and then you get a chance to win 4 $50 gift cards.
Okay, and having done this in years past, did you find, Kristan, Dave, from a store perspective, that it brought more people out during that shopping season? How many signatures or stamps were you doing in a day?
We're running through, you know, people are checking out, and you're with their purchase, and you're signing, you know, well enough to get a stamp. Some of us have gotten stamps so that we don't have to actually take the time to put the signature on. But I think it's become a tradition now, so people look forward to it and make it part of their evening. So it's kind of a family event, right? How many places can you go and shop and fill out your passport?
And another initiative to support local. Do you find that in the holidays especially that people take the extra push to do that?
I would say on our perspective, because again, being one of the major retailers in town, I think we get the piggyback factor from it. So it not necessarily drives people into our business, but it allows people to leverage their shopping trip at our business to be able to incent them to be involved with the program and get a signature in addition to shopping at other businesses. So if that keeps people in town and it keeps the dollars local and helps enhance local businesses, I think it's a great initiative. I've been in 4 different communities and I've never had anything like that. I think it's pretty special.
Why for Canadian Tire is it so important to really be a part of supporting the small businesses within the community?
Absolutely. So, you know, just in relation to the 2022 Christmas in St. Stephen, we were given the opportunity to become the title sponsor of it. And a lot of it for us is becoming an engagement partner for the community. You know, we're involved with a number of local things that go beyond just the shopping experience. So the fundraising initiatives of the local school, where they're selling gift certificates for our store, and they give us our receipts and we donate back a portion of that to go towards school activities. And of course the Santa's Helper program, which we've been a big supporter of, not only in relation to hosting the toy drive with Mark Downey and that committee, but when it comes time for redemption and people shopping in the store, we take that into account and we donate a portion of our proceeds back to Santa's Helper. And the goal is to help more kids in the community that need that help and have a special Christmas.
As a member of the Santa's Helpers Committee, a big thank you from all of us. I know that they taped the first choirs this morning at Milltown Elementary, so we have a lot to look forward to this holiday season. What are some of your favorite parts as people who live in St. Stephen of the holidays in your town?
So one of my favorites is the parade that is that we participate in as well. So that's one thing that we look forward to each year.
Kristan?
I think I live in the central downtown area, so I think for us it's big, all the windows being decorated, the businesses that are participating in that and decorating the town, and the walk along the trail with the lights. Those are definitely something that we make a point to visit, you know.
And I will ask you about your current window because I just went to visit it and it's beautiful. There is a Christmas tree that you are also auctioning for Santa's Helper, so the generosity is big in this group here. $600 value, a gingerbread Christmas tree. Can you tell me a little bit more about this initiative?
Yeah. So one of the big components of Christmas at Spree is decorating multiple Christmas trees, and every year people say, oh, I wish you could just come and decorate our tree, or they will say, how much for just the whole thing? And so while my mother and I were, you know, covered in glitter and doing the Christmas flip, it just hit me and I said, what if, Santa's Helpers is very important to us as well, and I said, what if we decorate a tree and auction it off? And so anyway, we did, and the bids are coming in. So, yeah.
Your windows are always inspiring, but this one hit a special note for me. And then, Dave, what is your favorite part about Christmas in the area?
For me, I'll split it into personal and community. So for me, I think the most unique thing and my favorite part of it is when we had the opportunity to decorate the light poles downtown and the business contest or participation that we had in that. I thought that was pretty unique. I've never seen that anywhere. And it was just really fun to go and look at the other displays and gets you really invested in Christmas very, very quickly in the town. And I always enjoyed grabbing a hot chocolate, walking around town and just going and looking at the different displays on the light poles and the creativity that's done by a lot of the businesses, especially Briggs. They're so good. And then from a business standpoint, I would say, again, I've been in a number of other communities, and just the holiday spirit and the passion that people have for Christmas here, and local small town shopping, that's been a unique experience here for me that I love, because we put a lot of time and effort and work into preparing Christmas and making sure we have the right products. But it's nice to see that gets reciprocated in joy and not that fanatical shopping experience that sometimes you get in the big cities when it's game time and people are filling their carts and running around. People take their time, they come in here and they're festive, and it's a really good feeling.
And I think snow is on the horizon. I will date this show by saying that I think it's coming tonight, but that will hopefully get us a little more in the holiday spirit too. I do know that you have a big Shop Local campaign coming out. Can you talk a little bit about that and how it applies to the holiday season?
Yeah, so we, as part of the Christmas promotion, one of the biggest components of that is supporting local and shopping local, and so we pick a specific weekend to really highlight local. So shopping local, businesses will have special events or special savings or special deals, and a lot of times those are also very specific to local makers, small shops, those types of things. So it's a way to highlight a lot of our local makers as well.
Okay, and do you have specific stores that, other than your own, but that you like to shop local in?
I shop locally at her business a lot because my wife loves it. But we shop at the pet store. Depending the last couple of years, I've done some renovations, so I've been in Kent an awful lot. Superstore. I try and shop locally as much as I possibly can, either within St. Stephen or the local community. I think it's important to support local business.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's a vibe that you get from the residents of St. Stephen, that it is something that I think too with the pandemic, a lot of times we felt like we have to really step up for our own community, but that feeling seemed to be here before that too. Maybe it was just highlighted a little more, but you get that sense from shoppers.
Well, when Dave said about the community and the community spirit that he feels here, moving here, it really does, it brings to your mind, those local shoppers are coming in, their nieces and their nephews and their grandmother, what they're looking for. If you don't have it, they might mention it, and then, we do our part to try to bring that in, or even for the promotion, listening to things that, ideas that locals come up with, and you try to incorporate as much as you can from the community. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
I grew up in a family of small business owners, so I know what the importance is of shopping local and shopping in a business where you know the owners. There are a lot of benefits. Returns could even be one of them, or people that know you as a customer for many different reasons. What are some of the benefits from your own perspective of shopping local, whether it be people shopping with you or you supporting other stores in the community?
I get both sides. I get to shop local, and I get to, also be the retailer. And I think one of the biggest things is that, yes, everything is accessible online, but one of the good things about, being within the community and being accessible is that you are approachable, and you kind of get that family feeling, you get that family vibe, especially around Christmas. And so it's just that communication, it's the relationship building that happens, and so people are comfortable to come say, hey, I don't see this, but is this something that I could get here, or I found this here, but I'd really like to support local. Is this something that you have? And so it just kind of creates that dialogue, and it kind of snowball effect, and it carries throughout the community.
And I would resonate with that. I think that accessibility to a customer base is important, especially being a bigger box retailer where we you're up against some of the city stores that can carry 100,000 different SKUs and we carry 40. And you try to be everything to everybody, but you can't. But it's those dialogue moments where I'm walking around my retail floor, and because they know who I am, they stop and say, well, listen, this is in the flyer and you don't have it. And of course we can offer rain checks, or I've driven to other stores to pick up items that were important to somebody, and I'll bring them and sell them to them. But those are the relationship pieces that I like. And the other part of it, I would say, is engagement with other business owners in the community that I've had the fortune of meeting and working with. When there are initiatives that are going on, such as Santa's Helper, the gift card, or the oldest basketball court, it's been great to piggyback on that for the greater good. And I find here that getting buy-in and things that gain inertia very quickly, and you get a true commitment to achieving goals. for the right reasons.
Oftentimes in a part of the world like this that you can have heavier traffic in, let's say, the summer season or the tourism industry. Are there times that businesses do really need support more than others? I know that I make a special effort to shop in January, February, whenever I can.
You think you hit that one on the head, for sure.
Absolutely, it's the same way. You know, we a little bit in January it's okay, but the doldrums of February and March, and sometimes into the longer days of the summer and into the early fall, it can be a little quieter. So it's always nice to see local faces and people that have decided to keep their dollars in their business, patronizing people in St. Stephen and businesses in St. Stephen. I think that's really important.
Can we talk a little bit about Ugly Sweater Day, which is December 23rd? Am I getting that right? Yes.
It's right there at
what
the end.
What does that entail, other than I would imagine wearing your ugliest Christmas sweater?
We definitely want to promote the ugliest of the Christmas sweaters, but it's just another fun initiative within the Christmas promotion where local businesses will be offering their own specials. So if you're sporting your ugliest sweater and you visit the participating business, you could receive a gift, a giveaway, a discount, that type of thing. So.
Okay.
Just a reason to wear your ugly sweater.
Now, are there things on the list of Christmas activities in the business community that you are most personally excited for? I know passports for me are, not that my husband needs to hear me say this, but I do like the goal of shopping multiple times. Collecting all the stamps very much excites me. But are there different initiatives that appeal to you as a person supporting the business community?
I'm not partial to any specific one. I'm the most tired on Moonlight Madness. I can tell you the adrenaline kicks in and that's the biggest day. But I think for me, and what's fun about that is that there's so mmany participating businesses, and just as Dave said, you have businesses working together, and I don't have this, but you can hop down the street. They have, so there's all kinds of fun in that evening. But knowing how much work goes into all of this, I have to say that I appreciate them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And from a business perspective, for people, let's say there are a lot of new businesses in St. Stephen. What's your best business advice for people gearing up for the holiday season and how to prepare for it?
I think number one is make sure that you have the products or the services that you want to promote, and people are going to come in. If you don't, you bend over backwards and you outwork and you out-hustle anybody you can to get that business, and be great with customer service and be honest. If there's deficiencies, listen. If there's something that you've run out of and you can't get, be honest. And I think as you pay that forward from a great customer service standpoint, that comes back to you in spades. But if you're going to tell somebody no is never a great word, but it doesn't happen to all of us that own businesses. But it's how you deal with that. And there are things that you can do, at least in my world, where you can offer similar products and then try to adjust prices, so that they may not walk away with the 55-inch Sony TV that they wanted, but maybe they walk away with a 55-inch Hisense TV, and that was going to be the gift to their son or daughter to go play video games on or whatever. So there are some things, but I think that just being flexible, being a bit vulnerable, being terribly honest, and extending yourself as much as you possibly can to give good customer service, that's the key to it.
And wearing comfortable shoes.
Yes.
And maybe not starting Christmas music till around now would be some good advice. Is there anything else that we're missing in terms of events that I've forgotten about?
I think that I think that lighting up the pathway down near the waterfront is an interesting initiative, and I'm hoping that most of the businesses participate, because again, this year is a kind of unique year where I think we've kind of moved past COVID a little bit. So from a family gathering standpoint, and I talked about grabbing a hot chocolate or a hot apple cider and going and walking with your family along the waterfront and seeing just different displays or lit trees or whatever it is, and just spending family time together. I think that's kind of a great experience. We live in a busy world and a computer world, and to be able to step back and do something real with your family and have an experience, it's special.
It definitely does feel, this year it does feel different. I think I can basically use Santa's helpers, since CHCO has been involved, as a look back at the pandemic and how many times there was either plexiglass separating us or spacing and masks. So it really is sort of the first year in many back to normal. What are you all looking forward to most about the holidays? Not just in terms of shopping, but just the holidays in general.
Sure. I'm looking forward to seeing all of my family get together and just being together during the holidays. So, because we haven't been able to do that in the last couple of years, so that's a big one for me.
It's the same thing. I have a son that goes to school in university in Halifax, and so as we approach the dates, it was always, are we going to be able to get him? Is he going to be? So it's nice to have that one less stressor on top of everything that kind of comes with this time of year. So it's nice to know that that's a possibility.
And for me, it's going to be able to go to friends I've made in the community, going and visit up their homes and just going and spending time with people. And again, not being distracted by televisions or cell phones or whatever that distracts us. So we can just go and spend some time together and laugh and just reminisce about the year. And the other part of it is my team that's at the store, because boy, they do some fantastic work and they work really hard on my behalf and on behalf of Canadian Tire. And the last couple of years, we haven't been able to have a Christmas party or even a social gathering. And that is always a highlight for me in all of my stores that I run, is just a night to say thank you. We have a meal, have some drinks, have the music playing, and we give them gifts and just celebrate and be grateful for what we did as a team. And I go, that's been a regret that COVID's kind of taken away from me during my time here. And we're going to do that this year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I know with COVID, we were all bracing ourselves for how the business community, especially in small towns and small businesses, was going to recuperate or even survive it. But if you look at St. Stephen, it's had this incredible growth. The world's oldest basketball court, for one of the things that has really come into its life during this time. A lot of new stores, or Game Time, the hotel's coming up. Union, is this the new store I've just heard about that
Yes.
opened?
Yeah.
Why do you think St. Stephen has flourished in this time, this difficult time?
I think people have just really, for new businesses coming into town, have had that time to think of what they want to do, and I mean, it's great. I'm seeing lots and lots of growth on the CBDC side. So yeah, no, it's really good.
You have I think you can see the support, the local loyal support. Just as you say, we know we do the shop small, they're shop local, they're there and they're waiting and they're ready. So I think when you see that, that you have that support behind you, it gives you the little push that you need to take the leap. And I think that is, and I mean, for the business owners as well that have lived through it, we're very strategic, and people wanted to make sure that they made it through. So it's kind of been twofold that way.
And coming from outside and moving to St. Stephen, it's interesting that when I had got here and had looked at the store before I accepted it, and by the time that I got here and started operation and got my feet settled, how much the town had changed in relation to a business landscape and honestly a new residence landscape. So the things that I've seen from the outside looking in and now being on the inside looking around, I think that a lot of the new businesses that have started up have been very strategic and very smart about finding businesses or services where there's gaps that are not necessarily in the community. And I think that some of the things have been done very smartly. And the other part of it would be is the influx of a lot of people from outside New Brunswick, particularly Ontario and BC, because we see a lot of them that come through Canadian Tire. They're really excited to be in a small town, and they want to be part of the small town experience. And so I think some synergies have happened in the business community where people have taken a look at opportunities to start businesses that they maybe always wanted to before and didn't have the confidence or didn't get the feedback. And now that they've got that, you've seen some of the new businesses and services pop up, and sure enough, people who are from St. Stephen are patronizing it, but there's a lot of support coming from people who have recently moved here as well.
Definitely Christmas time, holiday season is when I think I feel the most lucky to live in a small community. You really do feel that magic of the season. From someone who is new to the community, what's your experience of it? Or did you make I guess you can't say no, but you made the right decision.
Absolutely. We landed here, and again, COVID was a strange time. For the first 18 months, all I did was put my nose to the grindstone and really work to make the store better, the experience better, the customer customer service better. Not that it was bad before. You always try and raise the bar. But that being said, once COVID started to clear and I made friends in the community and got to go out and experience things and just enjoy the town, I was raised in a small town. And so this has been an absolute treat for me. It's been engaging. The people have been great. I've made great friends, and it's just been a phenomenal experience. And it's things like New Brunswick Day that comes up, or when we had run the Lobster Fest for the oldest basketball court, and that was a lot of fun, seeing people come out and meeting people that I'd never met before, and they were just so engaging and grateful and fun. And then, as I can speak to, Christmas in particular, I was being really genuine when I said, I've run 4 other Canadian Tire stores, and Christmas just kind of comes and goes, and you're kind of a cog in the machine. Here, I don't feel that at all. I feel people come in, they take their time. People are sitting with their coffees, talking in the aisles for hours, and kids are running everywhere, jumping all over the place, shaking toy boxes, and it feels like Christmas, and it's very rewarding.
Obviously, when you're putting a big Christmas series of events together, it takes the collaboration of the community, the business community. How many different businesses are involved in this?
Sure. So we'd like to take this time to thank our businesses that have participated. Our major sponsor, Canadian Tire, number 232, A1 Spray Foam, Acadia Broadcasting, 98.1 FM Charlotte, Ames Law, Arroco, Beers Neal, Candy Creations by Kathy, Cox Electronics and Home Furnishing, Disher Homes, Divine Wines, Dooley's St. Stephen, Downey Ford Sales Limited, Element 506 Boutique, Game Time Sports Bar, Ganong Chocolatier, Get Bronze Tanning Company, Giant Tiger, Home Support Services Incorporated, John Coutu, Lutz Parish Garish, Marshall's Tirecraft, Mayfield Gardens.
The list keeps going. We have McDonald's Restaurant, McGuinness Cooper, Milltown Market, Pivot Yoga, the Royal Bank of Canada, Scotiabank, Simply for Life, Something's Brewing Cafe, Speedy Glass, Spree Life and Style Boutique, St. Croix Auto Limited, St. Croix Printing and Publishing, St. Croix Vocational Center, the Thrift Store, St. Stephen Guardian, St. Stephen Superstore, Subway, the Five Kings Restaurant and Picaroon's Brew House, Top Shelf Cabinets, and the Winsome Inn.
Well, thank you all for being here today and putting me in the Christmas spirit. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you.
My guests today have been Rebecca Smith, Kristan Cloney, and Dave Fraser of the St. Stephen Business Community talking about Christmas in St. Stephen. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.